What are we making today?
LOL cake.
For whose birthday?
Becca's.
And how old are you going to be?
5.
Woohoo! What day is your birthday?
LOL day?
LOL day? No. What day is your birthday? Look at the camera.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
And tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
A chocolate LOL cake. Here we go. So you're going to start by preheating your oven to 350 degrees. And then you start with 2 cups of regular sugar, 1 3/4 cup of just regular all-purpose flour. You could substitute another kind of flour, I'm sure, but we're using all-purpose today. And then 3/4 cups of cocoa powder, unsweetened cocoa powder. And then after that, we're going to add in 1½ teaspoons each of baking powder and baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. And just to let you know, this is from the Taste Better from Scratch blog. I changed it up a tiny bit, but it's called the Hershey's Perfectly Chocolate Cake. And the lighting is not so good. We did this the night before, and I'll show you why. We do a crumb coat and let it chill overnight so that it's easier to work with in the morning when you're frosting it. So after I add in the salt, we are going to go ahead and give it a good mix to get everything incorporated and make sure the chocolate is all evenly distributed. And all the other ingredients, of course. Once everything is mixed in, we're going to add 2 large eggs and 1 cup of buttermilk. And if you don't have buttermilk, one tip is a cup of milk and you add about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of lemon juice and let it sit for 5 minutes. That's why mine looks kind of clumpy. It was made with lemon juice. Next is 1/2 cup of oil, either vegetable or canola. I think we used canola. And then I added in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And while this was going, I started boiling a cup of water over on the stove, because the last thing you're going to add is 1 cup of boiling water. So just pouring in the vanilla and then giving it a good mix first, and then I'm going to incorporate the boiling water. Now it is looking really good. I'm just adding in the hot boiling water, and I just literally took it off the burner and poured it in. I had the girls step back a little bit, of course, in case it splashed back up. It's a really runny batter, but it's perfect, I'll tell you. So we're going to get that mixed in very well and incorporated. And then the next step, we're going to pour it into the cake pans. So we are using, I believe, 9-inch cake pans, 2 circles, and I'm just going to divide up the batter as evenly as I can into these cake pans, like my Star Wars pajamas. Like I said, this was late at night, right before the girls were going to bed, so we could get it into the freezer to chill overnight. So just evenly distributed. I had a few little chunks at the bottom that I wanted to mix up before I put it into the pans. The girls were very excited when they saw that chocolate pouring into the pans. So now what I am doing, I've done it with the first layer already. I've taken it out of the pan. They were kind of hard to get out of the pans. And I'm just cut a hole in the middle with a biscuit cutter, circular cookie cutter, whatever you want to call it. And it's not shown here, but I actually took it back off and put a layer of frosting in the middle. So there I am, just cutting the top half out of the middle, because you'll see later on I'm going to fill it with something fun for the kids. So I'm just getting all that excess out. So like I said, I did do a layer of frosting in between the layers, and now I'm doing what's called a crumb coat. This is just regular store-bought frosting. I happen to have a little bit left over from a few days before. And a crumb coat you put on because you know how it gets messed up and the crumbs get in the frosting and all that, and it just doesn't look pretty. This is made to not look pretty. And this is this crumb coat we're going to go ahead and put on, get all the crumbs off of it that come out, and then we're going to put it in the freezer. And then the next day you take it out of the freezer or several hours later, and when you put on the actual frosting, we're going to do a homemade American buttercream. It will not get the crumbs in it because of this crumb coat. So I'm just putting it all the way around. I was actually close to the end of the barrel with this frosting, so there are some bare spots, but I just did my best with what I had. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the freezer in my laundry room. The lighting is terrible, but it's just going to sit right here overnight, making it a lot easier to manage in the morning. So I got these candies at Target, I believe. They're just fun little candies. And that is what I'm going to fill the middle of the cake with. It's just a fun idea I saw online somewhere, and that way when we cut the cake open, they kind of spill out and everyone can have some with their piece, which the girls all loved this at her party the next day. Oops, get that in there. And the next thing I'm going to do, I've made my American buttercream frosting, and that recipe is going to be in a separate video, but I made it yellow this time. And now I'm just going to frost the cake. Just kind of get the full top, and I kind of go inside the middle hole just a tad, not too much, but just a little bit to make it look more uniform and even. So I'm just kind of going along and scraping the edges to make them as straight as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, just trying my best. Oh, so I got these rhinestone stickers. I'll show you here in just a second. They are not for cake, they're actual stickers, but I wanted to use them on my cake, so I kept the vinyl on the back, and what I did was I got these piping gel. Piping gel can be found on the cake decorating aisle of any craft store like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I'm just putting it on the back of the sticker, like I said, on the vinyl, not on the sticky part. And then I'm just going to place them on, I would say, the four corners of the cake, although there is no corner. The four sides, like as if I was doing north, south, east, and west. And that was just a fun thing I thought will be kind of fun for the girls. I thought Becca would like that. This next thing I found was actually a keychain, and I took the little ring off of it, and I got a toothpick, dipped it in some of the frosting, and just propped it up like this, and the frosting held up, and it worked out great. So that went on the top of the cake. So I got this container of sprinkles. I'm not sure where I got it, but it has all different kinds of sprinkles. And I'm going to use these, the carnival sprinkles. They just look really fun. And I'm going to start by sprinkling them on the top of the cake. And now I'm just kind of going around the edges with spoonfuls of sprinkles. I'm sticking some little, maybe half an inch or so up the cake. I don't know, just thought this was cute. And I continue to do that all the way around the cake. So that is the LOL cake that I made for my daughter's 5th birthday. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Share it with your cake loving friends. And stay tuned because my other daughter turns 7 next month and she's also wanting an LOL cake. So I'm already thinking of ideas for next time. See you later.